So we'll start with our numbering system. So we start, you can see our shield punt there, and we reference the people that we're responsible for either R1 through 5 or L1 through 5. And so you can see that we start each number from outside in 1 through 5. So you just keep counting until you get 5. And so that R5, so you could have an R5 and an L5 on the same side. So this R5, if he was over here, we would still reference him as R5. So, and then we also do not count defenders if they are deeper than 5 yards on the line of scrimmage. So if they're back here, they're not in the count. So if this R5 was worked back here, then we would continue to count and the numbers right there. So that's one that they're not a part of it. So we have red or brown. Red and brown are basically the same direction of the kick. The rules are a little different, but blue and black, same direction of the kick. Rules are a little bit different. So we will cover those with you here. So here is our red protection. So again, you're going to start with your numbers outside in. And so they're going to identify. So you can see right here, the right end is an R1. He's responsible for R1. Our right tackle is responsible for R2. Our right guard is responsible for R3. Now our right shield, he would be responsible for R4. The PP would have R5. The left shield would have L5, the left guard L4, the left tackle L3, and the left end L2. Now the L1, the snapper and the punter, the operation of the ball being snapped and the ball being punted, they're responsible for blocking them. So we always make sure they understand that. So we're going to protect first, then we're going to do our coverage lanes. So you can see right here on the shield, they've got to make sure that they let the snap clear, and then he's going to shuffle directly behind the snapper right there. So you can see the importance of the alignment rules. Another thing we're looking at for the rules is the demeanor of the defender. If the defender's demeanor is not showing rush, then we will free release. Also, a second thing we're looking for, if they have two returners back there, then by rule we could fan that out. And if we fan this out, then the right end would be R1, the right tackle would be R2, the right guard would be R3. So the left tackle would be L1, the the left end would be L1, the left tackle would be L2, the left guard would be L3. And so you would eliminate one of those from the equation there because you'd have two returners back there. And then the PP and the left shield and the right shield would take the three guys in the A gap there. So that would be our fan call if we have a two-man return out there. Okay, brown. Brown is what we would call if we had four men in the A gap. And basically what we're going to do is, of course, we're going to get the R1 and the L1 to line out a little bit wider with our steps, because of our width right there. So we might be 3.5 yards, but basically we are trying our hardest to keep men off the shield. That's what we really want to do is not just let them pin their ears back and come up and light up the shield. And so we will down block, our twos, threes, and fours is who we will end up picking up, and we'll leave the 2 5s for the shield. So obviously there's three in the shield, so that gives the three in the shield two, and then they'll searchlight on the outside for the R1 and the L1. But typically that's a pretty good distance for those guys to come, so we're not real worried about that being able to get to the punter. Our blue call now is just the polar opposite of what we have from our red. Now, by the way, on our red call, if the ball is in the middle of the field, the right hash, or even slightly inside the left upright, so we are going to kick a red protection, and we're going to kick the ball to the red. If the ball is on the left upright or the left hash, then we are going to do our blue protection responsibilities. Now, I will say this. if the wind is blowing, there are times during the game plan where maybe the wind's blowing a certain direction and we will utilize the wind. So we could be on the right hash and kick a blue, and depending on where you're at. But let's say, for instance, there's really no wind and you're just getting up there. These rules I'm giving you are just basic rules. So you can see right here again on our blue, we've got the left end that has the L1, the left tackle's got the L2, the left guard's got the L3. And so now on this, and I'm sorry, this is a misprint down there, but that left shield has the L4 and the PP has the L5, and then the right shield has the R5, and then the right guard, the R4, the right tackle, the R3, and then the right end is the R2. So, and then the snapper would have that R1. So you can see that from there. And then our black responsibilities, which black would be like our blue, so it would be a left kick. Same exact protection as our brown. It's just brown as the ball's punted to the right, and then black, the ball is punted to the left. So you can see that by rule, what everybody has there. Okay, here's an example of a drawing right here that you can see. And let's say, for instance, we did our red here. So you could see the right end would block one. The right tackle would have to drop step and go and block number 2. This particular guard would have 3 right here. And so by rule, but again, he's got a ways to go, but that's still his responsibility. But you can see the width right there, which would make it really difficult for him to block the punt. Now we've got the guy sitting in front of the right guard. That would be the right shield. The PP would be the R5. This would be the L5, which would be the left shield. The left guard would be the L4 right here. The left tackle would have the L3, and then the left end would have the L2, and then this would be the punter and the snapper on the red rules. Here's the same look, but on this look right here, we have got a blue call. So the left end would take the 1 here, L1. The left tackle, I'm sorry, would take the L2. The left guard would drop step cross his face, and then he would take the L3. So this right here would be the left shield, but he doesn't want to chase, so he just needs to stay in there. The PP would have the L5. The right shield would have that R5. So right here by rule, the right guard would take that R4. The right tackle would take the R3. And the right end would take that R2, and then the punter and snapper would take him. So now you get a chance to see those as far as rules are concerned. Here are a couple other things that we do. We will practice this pooch punt. And the main thing on this, we call this Uno right. So that means we're going to be able to take our right end and we're going to extend him out. He's going to run and find the goal line. And then, so he's going to be behind the returner. First, he's going to find the goal line. He's not going to put his feet in the goal line. He's going to put his heels right there, just slightly in front of the goal line. And then the other off returner there is going to get in front of the returner. So we have somebody in front, somebody behind, so wherever the ball is, and then we can down that punt. So that's a punt that we're trying to get the ball really inside the 5-yard line. And so that's something that we practice on Thursday. And then our tight punt. So I'll just go through this quickly. We basically block an area. And so we're in 1-foot splits right here. My right shield is in the A gap. My left shield's in the A gap on the left. My right guards are 1 foot outside the snapper. My right and left tackles are 1 foot outside the guards. And my right end and my left end are 1 foot outside the tackles. Everybody is drop stepping. They will block everybody in that gap. We always tell them if there's 4 people in that gap, you got to do everything you can, get big and block everybody in that gap. And this is what we would use if the ball is on the minus 3, -2, -1. And then the PP is heels are at 4. He will turn and tell the punter 18 inches. So he's reminding the punter to be 18 inches from that back end line so that the punter does not take a false step and touch the back end line when he catches the ball, which would in reference give a safety. And so we're trying to avoid that. The PP is going to searchlight inside and out.